Hey, ladies, it is Coach Jamila, and I am coming to you live today to talk about the topic how to succeed after divorce. So, as many of you know here in the group, I, of course, am a transformation life coach. And what I do is I actually teach women how to overcome low self esteem, low self worth, lack of confidence, negative thinking, and, other self sabotaging tendencies. And I, of course, specialize in women that have been through a divorce. Why? Because I myself, went through a divorce a few years ago or some years ago, and I understand how that presents some unique challenges that we need to overcome in order to move forward in life. Okay. And so, like I said, today I'm talking about how to succeed after divorce. So, my first tip is that you have to grieve, okay? So, if your divorce is not final, then you really aren't able to move forward. You have to get through the legal process and all the rigmarole that entails, and then you can start thinking about really truly moving forward, because then that relationship is totally over, totally severed, legally, whatever, okay? And so you have to grieve that, okay? Because if you were married for any length of time and then it's going to hurt, right? Because even if the marriage was bad, when you have two people that have come together, they've created one life. And when you get divorced, that gets ripped in half. So it's like ripping a person in half. That hurts, right? And so the first thing you have to allow yourself to do is you have to allow yourself to grieve, okay? Trying to power through or act like, oh, I'm so strong, or I have to be this, or you don't have to be anything, okay? You have a right to be sad and upset that your life as you knew it, is no longer, that maybe you have to move out of the house that you've loved and decorated for years, that now your children, maybe have to be split up between two households, that maybe you don't have the income that you used to have because maybe you stayed at home and cared for the children. Whatever the situation is, your life as you knew it now has changed tremendously. And whenever we go through something like that, especially if it's something that was not initiated by us, it was something unwanted, it can be very jarring, right? And so you have a right to be sad about that, and you absolutely need to grieve and allow yourself time to do that. Now, when you're grieving is not the time to be making serious decisions about life. It's not the time to jump into another relationship or look to some other guy to be some emotional crutch for you. You need to allow yourself to work through all of the feelings and emotions and to go through the process. There are stages of grief. Allow yourself to go through the process, because you're going to end up far better than if you slow it down by getting involved with somebody else or doing anything to interfere that natural process, okay? So grieve, that's the first tip and how to succeed after divorce. Now, the second tip is once you have, thoroughly grieved your relationship and, you feel like, okay, I'm over my ex. I don't want to be with him. I'm fine now. Not saying that you're all super duper gung ho happy, maybe that you're single or alone, but just that, you don't no longer look back at your life when you were married to him as something that you long for or wish you could still have, okay? That you don't feel that anymore. Once you don't feel that anymore, you're not in love with him anymore, you do not want your old life back, you actually can see some positives and major benefits of no longer being with him. That's how you know you're done grieving. Now, what it doesn't mean is that you might still not be angry about how the marriage ended or what he did, but you're no longer sad, that it's over. It's kind of like you're like, it's over and I'm okay with it being over, okay? So you're past that. And at this point is when you can now, number two, get clear on what you want. See, now your life is your own. And it's like, okay, well, what now? I just spent the last 20 years taking care of 4 kids and this man, and, and I didn't think about myself at all. Hello. So here's the fun part, right? Don't look at it as like a sad thing, like, oh man, I'm all alone, blah, blah. No. The second step is get clear on what you want, because now for the first time, you actually can do what you want. That's right. You don't have to take another person into consideration as far as, well, I got to figure out what his schedule is or what his dreams and goals are. No. You just need to figure out what it is you want to do. And since you're on your own, you can do it, right? And of course, you have children. You have to figure, keep them in mind and whatnot. But mothers, we typically put our children first. So it's a natural thing that we do anyway. But my point is that you want to get absolutely clear on what you want. And maybe what you want is to be successful as a business owner. Maybe you've always wanted to start your own business, but maybe your ex didn't support it. Maybe you had a hobby that you really wanted to pursue, but you couldn't do it, right? Well, now's your time. Or maybe you're like, you know what? That marriage didn't work out, but I really enjoy the partnership of being married, and I just need to find someone that's better suited for me. That wasn't the right person for me, but I want to find the right person for me and spend the rest of my life with that person. So maybe your clarity is, I want to be married again, but I want to do it right this time. I want to succeed, okay? Or maybe your clarity is, you know what? I'm a little older. My kids are grown. I want to get comfortable with just being alone. I want to learn what it's like to be truly independent and happy and satisfied in my own skin and just kind of find my own way through life, on my own. And so that could be your clarity, right? But it's very important for you to get clear on what you want. Why? Okay, let me put it to you like this. Let me give you an example. If you get in your car right now, you just go get in the car, put on your seatbelt, put it in reverse, you back out of your garage, you get to the end of the driveway. Well, you can go right or left, right? But if you have no idea where you're going, you're just sitting there in reverse. Where are you going? Okay, let's say you say, I'm going to go to the right, but now you're going down the street. Well, what are you going to do when you get to the corner? Are you going to go right or left? Where are you going? Okay, you're not going anywhere if you don't have a destination in mind. So the same thing is true with your life. You're just going to keep churning and going through the motions. I'm going to get up every day, go to work, make the kids lunches, and blah, blah, blah. And your life is going to become very mundane. And if you don't have something in mind that you're working towards, that you're looking forward to, that you're excited about, that you can't wait to get into. So you have to figure out what it is that you want. And if it's, like I said, building a business, yes, figure that out. If it's being in a new relationship, yes, figure that out. How to get yourself right so you can bring the right man into your life and not someone else like that or another version of him. You don't want that. Or how to become an independent woman, maybe for the first time in your life. Like, yeah, you know what? I want to do my own oil changes or whatever, however you define that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have that clarity. You have to figure out what you want so you can have a goal in life to pursue. And then my third tip, as far as succeeding after divorce, is you have to start taking the steps and the action to start becoming the woman you need to become in order to get what you want, right? So you don't even know who you're supposed to be if you don't know what you want. And let me back it up a little further. You may not even know what you want because you may be totally unclear on who you are. You may not be sure about who you are and what you want because you've never had the time or the opportunity to really think about it. And so maybe that's your step one after grieving, is you need to take a moment and really get to know yourself. You need to figure out, what are my wants, my desires, my dreams, my needs? What are those, right? Because if you don't know those, then you're not going to know what you need in order to, pursue a business that speaks to you. Or you're not going to know what you need in order to be successful in a new relationship. Or you're not going to know what you need in order to feel good being an independent woman. Does that make sense? So again, you got to get to know yourself so you can know what you want, and then start taking those steps. That's step 3, is start taking those steps and those action items to start making it happen. So here's the thing. Life is going to continue to go on with or without you. And it's okay when something traumatic and big happens for us to take a minute and just kind of sit there like a deer in headlights because, yeah, the rug just got pulled out from under us. But at some point, we have to start moving ahead. And that's why I said this really begins after the grief process. But you have to start moving ahead. And if you noticed, everything that I've described to you in these 3 steps has nothing to do with anybody else except you. So you can't involve somebody else in this process. There's not a man or some relationship that you can get into that's going to help you take you through the process of getting to know you and figuring out what you want and then taking the steps to get there. Now, what can help you, if you choose, is someone who's been through that process, who can help you as a guide or a support through that. And so that's something you may want to consider as well. If you feel like, okay, yeah, Jamila, thanks for the tips, but you know what? I'm not really sure how to do that. So unless you're going to tell me, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, if that's where you're at, if you would like that additional help and support, you're always welcome to book that free 30-minute discovery and action call. And I can help you get clear on, what to do. And if there's anything I'm able to do to help support you on that journey. But anyway, just to review, those 3 tips are how to succeed after divorce. 1, allow yourself time to grieve. 2, get clear on what you want. And 3, start taking the steps and the action items to move towards getting what you want. Okay? So it's Sunday. The Monday is tomorrow. I know I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so it's still light outside and it's 80 degrees, warm and sunny in Vegas. But if you're on Eastern Time, you may already be laying in bed watching this. But here's the thing. really think about what I'm telling you and start taking action. Create momentum and start moving your life forward. And let's create that happy life that you want so you can start thriving, okay? So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and if you have any thoughts, and again, like I said, you're welcome to book that free call, and I look forward to seeing you here. Take care.